Here, wear glasses like him, huh?
Don't say that!
Wear a bunch of diamonds. Talk like this, my
Don't
friend.
you say that! I'll kill you!
You're not gonna kill me, Michael. I ain't 7.
I'm not like them! I never hurt anyone! I was just doing your stories!
What did you do to the 3rd girl, Michael? I need to know.
I'm not telling you now. You hurt my feelings. And my head!
You'll tell quick enough when they get a hold of you.
I can take it.
Not like this, you can't.
You don't know what I can take.
That's right, I don't.
I was in here listening to you scream in that other room. I was thinking maybe this is what it was like for you all those years. Let me tell you, it's a lot easier on this side.
No.
You're in there for like an hour. You come back whining your snotty head off. Why don't you try it for a lifetime?
Doesn't excuse anything.
An excuse the 2 you murdered? Why can't it excuse the 2 I murdered?
Michael, I murdered 2 people who tortured a child for 7 years. You murdered 3 children who hadn't tortured anybody for any years. Michael, there's a difference.
As far as you know, they didn't torture anyone. That little razor blade was a girl. I bet she was a real pain in the ass. I bet she at least killed ants.
Michael, what did you do to the 3rd girl? How did you kill her? Was it like in a story too?
Mm-hmm.
Which story was she like?
You're gonna be mad.
I'm not gonna be mad.
You're gonna be really mad.
Which story was she like, Michael?
She was like in that, she's like in that Pillowman. I mean that little Jesus. Yeah, that little Jesus.
Oh, God, no. Why did it have to be that one?
It's a good story. You're a real good writer, Couturier. Don't you let nobody tell you different.
Where did you bury her?
Well, where you bury Mom and Dad. Up by that wishing well.
My God, that poor fucking thing.
I know, it's terrible.
Was it quick?
Quickish.
Cat, it'll be all right. When's it gonna be all right? When's it ever gonna be all right?
I don't know. That's just something you say at a time like this, isn't it? It'll be all right. Of course, they're gonna come in here and execute us any minute. That's not all right, is it? That's like the opposite of all right. I wonder if they'll execute us together or separate. I hope it's together because I wouldn't want to be all on my own.
But I haven't done anything.
Don't you start that. You'll get on my nerves. And even if they don't execute us together, they're bound to bury us together. It was safer digging to those 2 holes. I don't want to be all on that ground all alone. That'd be horrible. At least we'll get to hang out up in heaven. Yeah, we'll get to hang out in heaven, hang out with God and all that, and have races.
Which particular heaven is this you're going to, Michael? Child killer heaven?
Not child killer heaven, smart ass. Real heaven like in those movies.
Shall I tell you where you're going when you die?
All right. But don't say somewhere horrible just because you're in a mood.
You're going to go to a little room in a little house in a little forest. And you're going to be taken care of throughout time, not by me, but by a person called Mom and a person called Dad. And they're going to take care of you the same way they always took care of you. Except this time I'm not going to be there to rescue you, because I ain't going where you're going. Because I didn't butcher any little fucking kids.
That's the meanest thing any person has ever said to another person. And I'm never speaking to you again, ever.
Fine, let's just sit here in silence then, till they come back and execute us.
The meanest thing I ever heard. I told you not to say anything mean. I said don't say anything mean. And what did you do? You ain't said something mean.
I used to love you so much.
What do you mean used to? That's an even meaner thing to say than the other mean thing. And that other mean thing was the meanest thing I've ever heard in my life. Jesus!
Fine, let's just sit here in silence.
I'm trying to sit here in silence, but you just keep on saying those mean things, don't you? Don't you? Oh, this is that sitting here in silence thing. That's fine. I got a bone to pick with you, boy. Yep, that's right. A bone about a story I found the other day called The Writer and the Brother, which was the biggest pile of bullshit I ever saw in my life.
I never showed you that story, Michael.
I know you never showed me that story, and for good reason, because it was bullshit.
So you've been snooping around in my room while I'm at work, have you?
Of course I'm snooping around in your room while you're at work. What do you think I do all day when you're at work?
Massacre infants, I thought.
Well, when I'm not massacring infants, I'm snooping around your room, just finding little bullshit stories like where Mom and Dad are alive and I'm dead and you don't rescue me. It's just plain bullshit.
Fine, now I'm getting literary advice from Jack the fucking Ripper.
Why couldn't you have made it a happy ending like it was in real life?
There are no happy endings in real life.
Mine was a happy ending. Or I lived and Mom and Dad died. That was a happy ending.
And then what happened?
And then you buried Mom and Dad out by that wishing well, put some limes on them.
I put lime on them. Put some limes on them. What was I doing? A fruit fucking salad? And then what happened?
What happened? And then you put me in school and I started learning things. That was good.
And then what happened?
What happened? Well, wasn't that discus?
Then what happened about 3 weeks ago?
Oh yeah, then I done some children in.
Then you dumped some children in. Now how's that a happy fucking ending? And then you got yourself caught and you got yourself executed. And then you got your brother executed and he hadn't done anything at all. How was that a happy fucking ending? And hang on, when did you win the discus? You came in fourth out of the fucking four in the fucking discus.
I'm not talking about that.
You came in fourth out of fucking four in the fucking discus when I won the discus.
We're not talking about whether I won the discus or not. We're talking about what would be a happy ending. Like me winning that discus, see? That would be a happy ending. But me dead, left to rot, like in your stupid story? That would be a happy ending.
That was a happy ending.
I was dead and left to rot. How was that a happy ending?
What was left in your store, your hand, when you died? A story. A story that was better than any of my stories. You see? The writer and the writer's brother. You were the writer, I was the writer's brother. That was a happy ending for you.
But I was dead.
It's not about being or not being dead. It's about what you leave behind.
I don't get it.
Right at this moment, I don't care if they kill me. I don't care. But they're not going to kill my stories. They're not going to kill my stories. They're all I've got.
You've got me. All right. We'll just agree we're gonna change the end of that writer and the brother story and have me live and mom and dad are dead and I win that discus. That'd be good. While we're at it, we should probably change the end of that story too, so nobody reads it and thinks I'm dead or something. Yeah, we should probably just burn those.
Yeah, all right, Michael, we'll do that.
Really?
Really.
Oh, cool. That was easy. In that case, we should probably burn those other ones too, because some of them, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but some of them are really sick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So which ones? Hey, which ones out of the 400 stories that I've written would you deem worthy to save?
That little green pig one, that's a good one. That one wouldn't make anyone go out and murder anyone, really. And I suppose that's about it, actually. Just that little green pig one.
That's about it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to be on that safe side, just that little green pig one. I mean, it might make somebody go out and maim somebody and not really murder them. You really want to be on that safe side, just that little green pig one. Although, it might make somebody go out and pay somebody green. That's about it.
You know, this would all be fine if the 3 stories you had chosen to act out weren't the most repulsive stories that you could have chosen to act out. You didn't act out the first 3 you saw. You acted out the first 3, the 3 that best suited your repulsive little mind.
So I could have done something that wasn't so horrible. Like what? Like that basement one? Where you chop off that woman's face and you put it in a jar? And you put it on top of a dummy gun in that basement? Or that Shakespeare room? Old Shakespeare, he's got himself a black pygmy lady. He keeps her in a box and he's just poking her with a stick whenever he wants a new play wrote.
He didn't do all those plays himself.
Don't you get it, cat? It's sick. They're all sick. If you could have wrote one that would be more sick.
Why did it have to be the little Jesus, though?
Oh, Petrarian. What's done is done. And can't be undone. Ta-da! Get myself some sleep now. If I can take my mind off my itchy ass, which is still itching like crazy, and I haven't even mentioned it.
You're going to sleep now?
Yeah.
But they're coming back to execute us in an hour.
Yeah. Might be the last sleep we get for a while. Might be the last sleep we ever get. Wouldn't that be horrible? I wonder if they have that sleeping up in heaven. They better, or else I'm not going. Torian,
What?
tell me a story.
Thought you wanted to burn all my stories.
That little green pig one, you tell me that one, I'll forgive you.
Forgive me for what?
Forgive you for saying all those mean things. Where I die and mom and dad take care of me for all time and you don't rescue me?
I don't remember how that one goes, the little green pig.
You remember how it goes, Couturier. Come on, the first word goes once, the second word goes upon, the third word goes the fourth word goes, can't remember it.
You're a little wise ass, aren't you?
I just remembered once upon a time.
All right, settle down. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, in a strange land on a farm, far away, there lived a little pig. And this little pig, he was different from all the other pigs around.
He was green.
Are you telling the story or am I?
You are, Couturier. Sorry. Fingers on lips.
All right. Well, this little pig, he was different from all the other pigs around because he was bright green, like glow-in-the-dark green.
Dark green. It's like that paint they have in those railway tunnels. You know, that's that glow-in-the-dark paint like they have in those railway tunnels.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, are we interrupting or are we listening and sleeping?
We are listening and sleeping.
Now, well, the little green pig, he liked being green. He liked the color of normal pigs too. He thought pink was nice. But what he liked was he liked being a little bit different, a little bit peculiar. All the other pigs, they didn't like him being green. They were jealous. They bullied him and they made his life a misery.
Misery.
And all the complaining, it just aggravated the farmers.
What's that aggravated? Sorry for turning it.
That's all right, Michael. It means to get on the nerves of.
Get on the nerves up.
Well, the complaining, it just got on the nerves of the farmers. And they thought, you know, we got to do something about this. So they crept out into the fields and they snatched up the little green pig. They brought him back to the barn. And the little pig, he was squealing. All the other pigs were laughing at him.
Bastards.
The farmers got him back into the barn. They opened up this big pot of a very special pink paint. They held the little green pig in there and they covered him from head to toe and not a patch of green was left. Then they held him down to dry. What was special about this pink paint is that it could never be washed off and it could never be painted over. It could never be washed off and it could never be painted over. And the little pig, he said, "Oh, please, God, please don't make me like all the rest. I'm happy being just a little bit peculiar."
I'm happy to be a little bit peculiar. He said that to God.
It's too late. The paint had dried. The farmer sent the pig back out to the field. And all the other pigs, they laughed at him as he crossed on by and went to sit on his favorite patch of grass. And he tried to understand why God hadn't listened to his prayers, but he couldn't understand. And he just cried himself to sleep. But even all the thousands of tears that he cried couldn't help to wash off the horrible pink paint because
it could never be washed off. It could never be painted over.
Exactly. So he went to sleep. And that night, while all the pigs lay in the field sleeping, strange storm clouds began to form overhead. And then it began to rain. Slowly at first, but then it got heavier and heavier. And this was no ordinary rain. It was a very special green rain, almost as thick as paint. And what was also special about this very special green rain is that it could never be washed off and it could never be painted over. It could never be washed off. It can never be painted over. And in the morning, when they awoke, all the pigs had discovered they had all become bright green. All of them except for the old little green pig, who was now the little pink pig, because of the unpaint-overable paint the farmers had covered him with earlier. Unpaint-overable. And the little pink pig, he looked out at this strange sea of green pigs, most of them crying, and he thanked goodness, and he thanked God, because he knew that he was, and he always would be, just a little bit peculiar. You liked that one, didn't you, Michael? No toes in it, no razors in it. It's just nice. Maybe you should have acted that one out. It's not your fault, Michael. It's not your fault. Sweet dreams, little baby. I'll be coming along soon, okay? Detectives! Detectives! I want to confess my part in the murders of 6 people. I have one condition. It involves my stories.